Welcome to the first episode of Bat in the Belfry Broadcasting-Tulsa. Not live, but recorded. Sorry, but I'm just trying to work out the details here, and so bear with. These are my two buddies. You can see them on a regular basis on my Facebook page, Bat in the Belfry Broadcasting-Tulsa. For this first session of Bat in the Belfry Broadcasting-Tulsa, first of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Allie Ducharme. I'm the one with the grape. Just kidding. I've been a lot of things in my life, and some of those things weren't the greatest things to do, or the greatest choices, and the one thing I learned a long time ago, long before most of those experiences, both good and bad and indifferent, was that everything that we go through in life is training for our purpose in life. So keep that in mind, especially if you're going through a rough time. Okay? Life isn't fair. It's not meant to be. We're given a body that may or may not work well. As the rules being human go. You just have to deal with it and get on with life. There's several rules of being human. They have been translated from Sanskrit, and if you can get a copy of them, that would do you a lot of good. It's done me a lot of good. In fact, the first time I read them, I laughed. What I'm going to be having on here, on these broadcasts, will be a variety of things. As I said in my description that I just updated, there will be some of my weird humor. There will be scam alerts given out about what, current ones that I've become aware of. There will be news that seems to be ignored. Perhaps at some point I'll be able to do some interviews with people. I don't know. The other things that I'll be talking about are things that have to do with the world of magic and what it's like being a vampire, and mythbusters about what vampires are and are not. When I do mythbusters, I'll be rather than showing you the video, in some cases that I'll be talking about, I will just give you the link, and hopefully it's still on YouTube. Some of the things I put on YouTube are hilarious. But for this first broadcast of BBB in Tulsa, their current scams that I'm aware of Uh, there's one that's going around texting people saying you have won $1,000 gift certificate from Walmart. Just click on this site. A scam. Another scam going around. Just everything that you get in your spam mail is, and you should be, I call it my scam box. Frequently, don't have stuff that's crazy coming into your main inbox. Don't believe any of these emails that come in and say, oh, I'm wanting to give money away, or IMF is giving you X amount of money, or the Edmond DeRochelle Bank is giving out money. If they don't already have your personal information and they're asking for you to give your name, social security number, address, phone number, blah, 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 it's a phishing scam. And it's possibly an identity. It's either a money scam or ID theft scam. The best thing to do is just, block them and have it go into your spam folder. The only thing I use my spam folder now, other than that, is occasionally if I'm expecting or hoping for an email from a certain person, I'll go through the whole list to see if that email has come in or not. And if it hasn't, I delete the whole darn thing. And that's what I recommend for everybody to do, especially those of you who are not used to the internet, being on the internet. Most of the stuff you're getting is outright crap. You also have to be careful of romance scams, military romance scams, military scams that the person says they're so-and-so in the military and they want you to bring something, they want to send you something to hold for them. Don't do it. If they're saying they want you, they're going to give you, they have a contact in the United States, they're stationed somewhere or whatever, but they've got a contact in the United States, and that person is going to send you some Walmart certificates. They're fake. Okay, I almost got felony charges for going to Walmart to find out if they were fake or not. Okay, and that kind of charge is something that gets you in the federal pen or Interpol. So, now that Europe has its own version of Interpol called Europol, trust me, most of our prisons are far better than what if you get sent to any of those. I don't know about Europol's prisons, but I've heard about Interpol's, and they're like Quantico. Either way, prison is not a place for good people to be. As far as news that's being ignored, currently, while everybody is hating on the bankers, the banks, the world banks, IMF and a bunch of other people are trying their best right now to prevent a world economic crisis. So you might want to think twice before you hate on somebody when you don't know what they're doing. Because what they're doing right now is trying to prevent a worldwide macroeconomic crash. Speaking of hate narratives, or divisive narratives, which are basically become one and the same, is take a week or two away from them and just observe for that time period. You know, don't comment, don't, you know, get detached from the emotional content, okay, of it, and use your mind, you know, your brain, in a logical manner. See what is being said. See who's saying it, and and don't just look at the narratives you normally are on. Look at everybody's narratives. And you'll see the same thing is going on. Okay, it doesn't matter who the threat is started by. Okay, it doesn't matter. It's all the same thing. Stop and think before you let your emotions get in charge of what you're saying and thinking. Okay, because it's all to put it quite bluntly, bullshit. Okay, I'm not saying you don't have a right to your opinion. I'm just saying, you know, take some time to stop and think and observe without saying a word. It's amazing what 2 weeks, 1 to 2 to 3 weeks of just observing. And if you can, just for the first week, don't observe what you don't normally get to see. You know, people get so caught up in the narratives that they don't see what else is going on around them unless they just happen to cross paths with someone who's talking about stuff. Don't go by what this one or that one or the other one says. Find out the truth for yourself. Find out what people are really saying, not what it's being, how it's being interpreted by somebody else, but what the people are actually saying. I have on my channel, I have a set of videos that I started that I've got to put more effort into that. On that issue to begin with. Don't go in when you get if you go and look at that set of videos. Don't go in with a preset attitude, because what you're going to do is with that preset attitude, without an open mind, open heart, to find out the truth. Not what you've been told the truth is, but what the truth is, really. You're going to still be viewing that with the same filter you've been using. You've got to remove the filters. And look at it as if you've never heard any of the bullshit about this one, that one, and the other one. If something is said and it triggers an emotion in you, step back. Turn it off, step back, bring yourself back to a neutral, open mind, open heart mindset, and then go back. And while you're doing that open mind, getting back to that neutral mindset, Look at what triggered you and why. Remember, we've been programmed with a whole lot of crap all our lives. And what we're getting now is counter programming. And not all of it is beneficial. Now, as I'm going to try to do these broadcasts regularly, but really I didn't have too much plans ahead of time for this. But just stop and think, you know, we all have differing opinions, different perspectives from which we look at things. If we're having a bad day, we're going to take almost everything bad. So, you know, keep that in mind. And remember one thing. The most important thing in this world is family. Family can be defined by being related to somebody. Family can be defined by the group of friends you've made that have proved over time that they're there for you. Try never to turn your back on your family. If someone's toxic to you, or I should say toxic for you, then yeah, you've got to do what you need to do to remove toxicity from your life, but that doesn't necessarily removing the person. Sometimes it is, you know. There isn't a day usually that goes by when I'm online that I don't block someone because they're being toxic.